Hey guys, welcome to Auspicious Tarot. This is a very special video because since this community is growing so quickly, so abundantly, so fast, I thought it was time I go ahead and reveal who I am. So, hi, I'm the hands behind Auspicious Tarot. Now we're going to go ahead and get moving and get started with some messages for Aquarius. I don't want to make this all about me, it's all about you and the messages you need. As always, please do take some time, pause the video if you would like, go ahead and meditate on the deck so that messages that come out resonate strongly for you if need be. Okay? Let's get started. What does Aquarius need to know right now? The devil almost wanted to come out. You've got Queen of Cups energy to start out with. Okay. You may need to show compassion to yourself. We have following up Knight of Wands. Oh, nice. Ten of Pentacles. Seems like right now you're showing yourself a lot of compassion so you can manifest the success that you want. So here I'm looking at right now Seven of Pentacles reversed and Six of Cups reversed. Two reversals. Yeah, you choosing to kind of live in the past, focus on past events, is what's kind of interrupting your energy to be able to attain the Ten of Pentacles, all that you wish for. I get the sense lately you've really been kind of contemplating and licking your wounds about the past, but I'm getting the message, especially since the Devil card almost wanted to pop out, that is something that's holding you back. It's like you're unintentionally writing this victim narrative, and it's fine to reflect on the past, but what you need to do is create a narrative of being a victor. When you look back at things, definitely do your best to internally rewrite the story to celebrate how you've overcome the situation. Try not to let past events let you write a narrative about yourself where you are kind of saying, oh, this and that was done to me, etc. Yes, absolutely. One thing I don't like is the term victim mindset, because it's all about how you decide to think about and express your truth of what happened. There are things that can happen to people that are quite terrible and highly affecting. But instead of looking at it like this happened to me and now I am in this negative space because this happened, look at it as, wow, look at where I am now. Look at what I'm doing right now. And I overcame that, which was supposed to put me into this energy that's not good for me. So this is an energy of, I know you're contemplating a lot. I know you're thinking and looking at the past a lot, but it's kind of confusing the energies around you, your spirit team in a way. Not confusing your spirit team, but it's basically hindering your energy and your life force and any manifestations that you've been trying to bring forward. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like your energy is not matching up to what you want, because instead of looking back at what has happened, say, yep, I overcame X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. And it's hard. It's difficult because when you're looking at the past, of course, it's going to bring up these somatic memories, these things where it puts you back into that space, right back into those emotions, etc. Those are simply memories and lessons for you that are meant to leave an imprint on your psyche, your heart, your brain, and your neural pathways. So once you do inevitably come against that kind of similar situation again, someone trying to sell you some snake oil in a way type of deal, you'll know how to say no. It's supposed to deeply impact you. It's supposed to hit your heart. But that's because it's supposed to be something that you remember, because initially when you were in that situation, you may not have had the information you needed. You couldn't see behind the person in that energy, whatever those circumstances were. So, in order to get you moving forward, babes, you are going to have to look at those memories and say, wow, yeah, that in that time, I did feel that way. In that snapshot of time. But moving forward, you're going to have to say, but I overcame that. I feel this way now. I lead this kind of life now. And that's going to help turn the wheel forward, especially if you are someone who practices in the craft. Love you for it. That's going to help bring more power to whatever workings you've done. Now, I know with my audience, I have a good number of people who are probably, under different denominations of traditional religions, and then I have people who are certainly into more ancient practices, things I tend to gravitate toward. So, if you are someone who's part of my tribe who does imbibe and, get involved in those ancient practices, when you're doing your work, your sigilling, etc., you could be seeing a little bit of a standstill in your work because, again, you're focused on the wrong type of narrative instead of looking at the past and seeing it was a snapshot of time meant to teach you something that needed to stay etched into your mind and heart so you could avoid it in the future. Once you start to tell that tale and retell it in a way where you are the victor and you infuse that past memory, acknowledging the fact that right now you're living a life where you do not feel that pain, that pressure, etc., that worry, confusion, whatever it is, that is going to really kickstart your work up. Those of you, if you know, you feel what I'm saying. So let's keep it moving. We do have this card, the death card on the back, that is on the bottom of the deck. It's kind of telling you put an end to those emotions. Put an end to that narrative. You need to, and again, I'll just go ahead and flip it over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is the last message. Closed deck front and back right now, right? That's how you're going to be able to celebrate yourself. You need to write a celebratory narrative in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit when these memories inevitably come up. Sometimes negative memories from the past pop back up because something around the corner is about to approach you. So it's kind of like your spirit team, your field, your energy field rather, is kind of letting you know this thing we really didn't want is around the corner. Do you remember how to say no? Do you remember how to handle this situation? And you will. But you have to write a positive narrative. If you write because what happens when we have the narrative of, oh, this thing happened to me, oh no. When it comes back around inevitably, right, then what's going to happen is you're going to be in this potentially people-pleasing kind of energy instead of sitting in your god-like, goddess-like energy. So because once this item, this thing, this situation, person potentially comes back around, the situation has left an imprint on you, and because of the narrative you tell yourself, now you're going to reapproach that situation, and you're going to approach it with Please love me. Please care for me, etc., etc. But you shouldn't be. Because didn't that previous thing, person, situation, place, etc. hurt you? So once something similar comes back around, why on earth would you be looking for comfort from it? Whether that be a person, a relationship, etc. Whatever it is that you've been contemplating on lately. Why would you look for comfort where you were hurt? Why would you look for comfort from someone who wanted to hurt you, who delighted in it, who felt their self-esteem, feel better because of it? You wouldn't. So, especially those of you who practice in the ancient arts of the craft, take your power back, truthfully. You can ritualize it if you'd like, but this is more of a mindset. Once you have your mind set on, that happened in the past, but I overcame it. Now this thing is coming back around and I'm going to deflect it strongly. That is going to boost your workings, your manifestations, whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life to move you toward the goals that are best for you. So, with that said, I am feeling like using the shamanic deck. Lately, the readings have been very much so geared toward full personal spiritual transformation, more so than just the mundane lessons that we learned, say, in relationships, right? So, I'm going to pop out the deck, and let's go ahead and get some guidance from you. And it technically is guidance from you. You all do know tarot is a medium, a spiritual medium to kind of reflect what you already know on the inside. Things that resonate with you resonate because that inner god, goddess, has already been whispering to you. Okay, so let's go. What are some important energies, messages my lovely Aquarius needs to know to move into victor, goddess, or god status in their life? This is a heavy deck. All right. I love these cards already. So we are starting off with Druid. So some of you all could have a Celtic background. I know some of my lovely followers do. And, maybe practice with runes, etc. But we have the Druid, hold the space. So this is not a message to tell you, don't think about the past, la la la. No, that's inevitable. You can't control that. Of course you're going to think about it. Of course you're going to get those same energetic signatures because they're written down into your DNA now at this point. When something has really heavily hurt you, traumatized you, etc., whatever it is, or even elated you. Hold the space to be able to reapproach those memories. Well, they're going to approach you, right? And be able to transmute them by rewriting your story about what happened. Because the person that experienced that situation back then that you were would say, oh, woe is me, this happened to me. And there is time and space for that. Right after a lesson, it's kind of natural to feel that way. So don't feel like you're losing your spiritual power or something because, something has happened to you and now you're feeling the inevitable effects that you would as a spiritual vessel or a spiritual body within your vessel, But rewrite that story. I think that's going to be the name of this video too. Rewrite the narrative. It's under your control. Next we have Autumn. Release the old and reset. Or is that rest? And rest. But reset too. So in the fall, as we move through the year, you're going to see more and more positive. things coming up for you, for sure. You'll find yourself having more energy and clearing away, letting the old narrative die. You are allowed to let the narrative die. Sometimes we tell ourselves these narratives of things happening to us rather than for us, because we're still in a space of trying to heal from what happened and still trying to make sense of it. But I get the sense you are a little bit more past that point in that healing journey regarding whatever happened, whether it was a group of circumstances, whatever, you know. Ego, see from a higher perspective. Continue your craft. Instead of looking at the events that happened in a negative light, try to see what that was trying to teach you. Acknowledging the lesson is what is going to help you rewrite that narrative if you're not sure how to. And please, don't take this to mean that I'm downplaying serious events. Serious things, well, are serious. But once you've gotten some more time and distance from it, and your reality no longer at all looks like where you were, you'll be able to alchemize that energy better. And you do on a day-to-day basis. Every time you think of it and then you do something a little different, you are alchemizing. You are healing. Do not let anyone tell you that, oh, you think about the past and now you're, saying this, now you're in a victim mindset and that's terrible, blah, blah, blah. You're a human being. Look, come on. Eye for an eye doesn't necessarily always leave the world blind, in my view. And we have Traveler, moving a new direction. This card is striking. You have the ability to, in a sense, time travel. You do that by rewriting the past narrative of whatever happened. You do that by allowing your spirit to bring up those memories, allowing your body to purge those memories, whether it's PTSD, etc., anxiety. Your body is working on shedding those things. Travel forward in this new direction. I was picking up like Celtic, kind of like Slavic energy. I'm getting, definitely some of you all have that ancestry, particularly looking at the garb of this woman, potentially Romania, Czechoslovakia, Italy, potentially. Definitely getting some European vibes here for sure. Welcome. Let's see, what else do we have here? And for those of you who are not of that ancestry, there could be something in the ancient practices that you can adopt from that particular lineage. Magic is all energy and intention. It does not have to do with race. Although yes, ancestry is important. You can work with your ancestors on things. But, be discerning if you decide to take up the practices of a different culture, but also don't necessarily be afraid to. I wouldn't call on someone else's ancestors. I would work with your ancestors and then kind of work on whatever additional practice you want to add in. Plus, when it comes to history, things are not always as they seem. That's all I'll say. Because if you know, you know. Alright, let's go. Let's get 2 more cards. I want to get 2 more for you. And then I'll wrap up. What else for my lovely Aquarians? Close this message out. Don't be afraid to look beyond the veil for answers. And right on the back of the deck, seer. See beyond the current circumstance. But in this case, you actually do want to focus on the current circumstance because you're using your current life that is completely different from that past version to fix the narrative. To speak a narrative that goes along with what your spirit team sees about you. Shapeshifter. Now, what was I talking about a moment ago? Transform and unveil your gifts. It's not disrespectful to take on a different culture's practices when you adapt it to your intention and your ancestors. You know, don't do anything baneful. Don't be, come on, you know better. You know what I'm saying. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. This has been a common theme in the last couple readings, my darlings. You could benefit from the practice of scrying. Tarot is a version of scrying. And we have the Celtic ancestry popping on up. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. And our last one, Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. This information can come to you in the form of dreams, potentially this video as well too, to help you see the error of letting that past situation take control of who you are now when you are no longer in that situation at all. That is what I have for you right now, my darlings. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for being here. As always, I do have to add in, since you all have been really ramping up this whole community, now we are a part of the Amazon Associate Program. And I say we because if it weren't for you all following, liking, and sharing these videos and watching these videos, then the channel wouldn't have been eligible. So, we're Amazon Associates, and that means there's some links down in the description below that link to some products that I think that you guys might like. If you do, go ahead and click it, take a look, and if you want to buy, then go ahead. If not, well, come on back to the next video, and I'll be here. If there are other products that you all prefer, you know, feel free to leave it in the chats if you want. But that's what I have for you right now. This has been Auspicious Tarot. Thank you. And now I have to awkwardly reach across to stop the video because I don't have one of those like clicker thingies. So, see you next time.